Hey everybody, Aaron Cowan, Sage Dynamics, and this is the Benchmade Griptilian. Now I know what some of you are thinking, this isn't a knife channel, which kind of goes back to the fact that I have a YouTube channel. I'm not a YouTube channel. There is a difference there. Not that one's any better than others, just I use YouTube to do occasional reviews, put out really good content on training, because my primary job in life is I'm a teacher, I'm a firearms instructor. But I do use knives. Now I am not a knife connoisseur in regards to I like high quality things, but I'm not a collector. And I'm not one of those guys that keeps up on the latest and greatest things that are going on in the knife world, because usually I use a knife until it's dull and I either sharpen it or I get a new one. But because I travel a lot, I am worried about TSA through guile or stupidity, or just inattention to their job, or chance and circumstance, losing my knives when they rifle through my bags, because every single time I fly they rifle through my bags, and I have had knives and occasional other things just go missing, and sometimes they find them and sometimes they don't. So if I'm flying somewhere, I don't like to take I like to take less expensive things. Firearms I'm not so worried about, because they do a really good job of not losing those, but knives maybe another issue. So the Benchmade Griptilian, I picked this up from Optics Planet. I'd had Benchmades in the past, but I hadn't had one recently. Now I've been using this knife for about 6 months. I wanted to do a long-term review on it. I've used it for a number of things. It is a very, very sharp knife. I got the style that's Tanto with half serrations. Because I needed something that was going to do multiple jobs. Tanto isn't the best for like cutting straps and things like that. You want more of a drop point for something like that. But the serrations are really good for general purpose things like that. And a Tanto is really good to use as a screwdriver when you forget your tools. So I've zeroed a number of optics and students' optics using my Benchmade Griptilian as a screwdriver. Another cool thing about it is it's lengthwise, it's going to be sufficient enough to get the job done, but it's not so ungodly large it's going to take up a lot of pocket space. Or in states where they have length limits, even though they're hardly ever enforced, I didn't want to have to deal with problems such as that nature. As far as actuation goes, it is a lock blade, little release right there, and it's pretty easily stored in the pocket. Again, like I said, I'm not a knife guy, but Benchmades are very well known for using high quality steel, high quality components, and having a really, really, really good warranty. They have the Life Sharp program, which means when I do dull this, and I kind of already did, I mean, it's still sharp enough to cut with, but it's probably in due of need of a sharpening. I'm not very good at sharpening knives, so I'd rather leave that to a professional. But I can send it back to Benchmade and they'll sharpen it for me, which is a pretty cool deal. As far as price point goes, you can't really beat the price of, this is one of their blue line knives. They have 3 classes of knives. They got a black, which is like hard use, extreme duty; blue, which is like duty or like backcountry, like outdoor general purpose life; and they have gold class, which is like really super high-end knives for if you're a collector and you weren't aware of that. Benchmade's got a lot of knives. This is just but one. Griptilian's not a new knife, so I'm not giving you guys like a first look exclusive or anything, but kind of like a long-term view of a product that I've been using for a number of months now, and that I've had really, really good success with, and I'm going to continue carrying it. If I were to actually lose this, or if my luck finally runs out and one day I get to where I'm flying to, or I get home from flying somewhere and my knife's just gone, I would buy this again just as a travel knife. It's a great multi-purpose knife. It does a lot of things. I've cut Kevlar with this thing, which isn't a huge deal, but if you know, Kevlar will dull your knife a lot faster than cutting cardboard will. Since I get a number of packages throughout the months, use this to open any number of boxes. Like I said, zeroing weapons, adjusting things, mounting optics, a whole number of things that the knife probably wasn't designed to do, but it does really, really well. Durability, the edge stayed consistently sharp. In fact, I've yet to run into a problem, even though I haven't really sharpened it since I got it, with it being able to cut whatever I'm trying to cut with. So again, I know that's very subjective to you guys who are really, really into the knives, but that's just my personal observations from using the knife. My personal opinion is it's still sharp enough to do exactly what I want it to do. Would it be good to shave with? Probably not, and it probably wouldn't be great for me to whip it out in a steak restaurant and cut my food with it, which I've been known to do if they provide me substandard knives, but this probably wouldn't be the go-to for sanitary reasons and for the fact that the blade's just not quite sharp enough for that anymore. So it definitely needs to be sent back to Benchmade there in Oregon and have them sharpen it up. Again, Benchmade, American company. A lot of their components, if not all of their components, are made right here in the United States, which I know is a big deal to a lot of people, myself included. I like to buy as American as often as possible. The pocket clip is reversible. My only complaint about the knife actually is the pocket clip. It does bend, I wouldn't say easy, but once it does bend, it's really hard to get it back to the same tension in your pocket. Now, the thicker pocket hem you have, the better. Your more tactical pants or jeans are going to do really well. Dress slacks, of course, are going to be thinner, so that's going to be a problem. I did have it bend on once. It caught on the edge of a table when I was teaching a class. I had to take it off and bend it back, and it still isn't quite where I want it to be, so I might see if I can just go ahead and buy another one to replace that. But it is reversible. Me being primarily left-handed, I keep my knife primarily in my left, my folding knife in my left pocket to keep it straight somewhere else. So when I pull it out, it's just, you know, there, and I got to roll it around in my hand. Again, it's not a tactical thing. It's just that's where I keep my knife. But since it's on my left side, I'm more likely to catch it on things, because if I'm left-handed going for things, that's going to be an issue. That was really the only problem I identified with the knife, was the pocket clip. It takes a little bit to get it bent back into place, and it just doesn't have the same tension as it did when I pulled it out of the box. But after 6 months of use, I'm really, really happy with it. I'm going to keep using it. And again, like I said, if I lose it, I'm going to go ahead and get another one. But I'll go ahead and throw a code up. Optics Planet, you know, they kept in touch with me about the knife, and give you guys a discount code if you want to pick up this, or, you know, really anything else on the site. But that's where I'm at with the Benchmade Griptilian. I'm Aaron Cow with Sage Dynamics, training accordingly.